is Tendai Manombo, and this is IN4, your weekly news in 4 minutes. The Zimbabwe Public Debt Indaba, convened by the Zimbabwe Coalition on Debt and Development, ZIMCOD, from the 29th to the 30th of March, highlighted shared concern among CSOs, Parliament, academia, and policymakers over the deepening debt crisis in Zimbabwe. The latest statistics from IMF show Zimbabwe's consolidated debt at $19 billion, representing 68.1% of the GDP. The Indaba noted that some progress had been made by the government in the implementation of the medium-term debt management strategy. These include the adoption of an auction system in Treasury bills issuance as opposed to the private placements, improved debt transparency through the release of annual debt bulletins, gazetting of loans, and token payments to creditors. The stakeholders called for an independent public debt audit, public debt registers, and legal reforms to limit debt contraction without parliamentary approval. The week under review witnessed the release of IMF's Executive Board statement on the recently concluded IMF Staff Monitored Program to Zimbabwe. The board noted that while Zimbabwe recorded buoyant economic growth in 2021, double-digit inflation and deteriorating Zim-dollar exchange rate persisted, leading to an increase in poverty. The fund expects the economy to continue to grow slowly in 2022, with a growth rate projected at 3.5% versus the government's 5.5%. The board also noted slow progress in the government's international re-engagement as stakeholders expect economic and political reforms which are yet to be fully instituted. As a result of slow progress, the country will continue to be locked outside concessionary borrowing channels provided by international financial institutions. Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency (ZimStat) released inflation statistics which showed annual inflation growth for March 2022 gaining 6.6 percentage points to 72.7% from 66.1% recorded in February. From a month-on-month perspective, price inflation increased by 6.3% in March, a decline of 0.7 percentage points from an increase of 7% realized in February. These inflation figures indicate a tightening macroeconomy, with inflation outturn breaching the projections of authorities. For the first quarter of 2021, the RBZ was targeting average monthly inflation below 4%. In the outlook, inflation remains elevated due to disruptions to global supply chains being caused by the Russia-Ukraine war. Besides the Ukraine crisis, erratic rainfall patterns that have affected the 2021 and 2022 cropping season have implications on domestic food prices, especially the staple maize. ZimStat statistics show that the deteriorating economy is widening poverty as the majority of citizens are being plunged into a cost of living crisis. The total consumption poverty line for an average urban household of 6 was recorded at 58,000 Zim-dollars in March, a 6.2% growth from 54,000 Zim-dollars recorded in the prior month. This is against the average salary for the public, particularly civil servants, which is at 40,000 Zim-dollars. Meanwhile, the local currency continued with its losing streak on both the official and the parallel markets. On the official market, the Zim-dollar exchange rate to the US dollar slid by 2.97% to 142.42 Zim-dollars this week from 138.20 Zim-dollars attained in the previous week. A total of $37.6 million was allotted by the RBZ in the week for both the main auction and SME auction, with the latter getting $6.5 million of the week's share. This brings us to the end of our bulletin. Please join us once again next week.